morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me.
What's up, everyone? I'm Tom Ritchie, and this is Woodstock. Joining me for this episode is Jessica Curtis-Blair, although on screen, Jess, I'm seeing just Jessica Blair. I'm going to have to reach out to Mitch and say it's completely sold now. It's completely sold.
I'm committed. Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, so funny enough, my legal name is actually Jessica Blair, but I trade under Jessica Curtis-Blair.
Well, okay, so, and we'll get into the world of real estate.
Name.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But we'll get into the world of real estate because obviously you built a brand around Jessica Curtis originally. So you're going to keep that. I mean, that's not going anywhere. And I know Mitch, he's a big dude. Like, you know, like you'll take my name. No, I won't. No.
Yeah, right.
Trust me, you can take him. I know him. He's a big
He's a big teddy bear.
He totally is. He totally is. So let's first start with Revel Realty. You are, I always mess this up because Revel's a little bit, is structured a little bit different, but you're a coach, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we opened the Revel Woodstock office about 4.5 years ago, and we've since rebranded to Revel Oxford County because people within our office have kind of branched out and opened offices around Oxford County. And we didn't want to structure people to feel like they were just representing Woodstock because we do represent all of Oxford County and a little bit beyond as well. So we're now Revel Oxford County. So we are one of about 45 Revel offices that operate under one big umbrella, which is a little bit different than the normal structure of how real estate offices run with franchises.
Yeah. Well, and I want to get into the whole world of real estate because that has changed for those that don't know me yet. We were colleagues back in the Sutton days. Like I sold real estate. Believe it or not, people, I sold real estate.
We worked together.
We did work together, and I'm sure you just pulled your hair out going, what is this idiot doing now? Like,
you have a lot of different talents, Tom.
There's different ones. I tend to like just doing this. I have the gift of gab. I'm a genuinely curious person. People ask, especially in the professional settings, they're like, what's your superpower? I'm like, curiosity. It's curiosity.
I love that.
I like ripping shit apart. Whoops. I promised I would never swear on this podcast. That's reserved for my other pods.
We're not even a minute in.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, about a minute 30. Okay. I'm doing well. No, but I just love to, I tear stuff apart. I like to know what makes people tick as well. So before we get into the real estate side of things and what you're doing with your career, how you juggle all of that. I mean, I got a real estate. I grew my hair long. You had kids. But I want to talk about, your history in Woodstock. Matter of fact, took the dogs out. I'm still in old Woodstock. Took the dogs for a walk this morning, right down Mary Street, past an old stomping ground of yours and your brothers, right? And your dad's. But I was walking by and I'm like, that's the most unique house on the street still. It really is.
Yeah. I grew up on Mary Street, which is funny because the office that we own, the building that we own is like right around the corner from where I grew up. So I used to walk by this office all the time, like daily. And you can like see it from the park that I tobogganed from as a kid. It's just funny how
Park.
It's funny how life comes like full circle. And now I work every day, like a
right there
2-minute walk from not even from where I grew up.
Stone's throw. What was in that build? So one of the things I want to do, in the so many episodes that I've rolled out of This is Woodstock, this is number 2. But I want to get into asking about, your history, most memorable moment throughout, we'll say impressionable years. Okay. So I want to get into that. But before I forget, what was in that building back then? I can't remember.
It was a doctor's office.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Multi. Yeah.
I want to say McDonald's maybe. And there was a dentist here at one point in time too.
Because is it two levels or three levels?
There's three levels, but there was 2 levels that were in use before. And I want to say one was a doctor and one was a dentist, or at one point in time it was all a doctor. It's been stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it's yours now. You can do whatever you want with it.
Now it's a real estate office.
Now it's a real estate office. Okay. So most memorable moment growing up, or what, the nostalgic days, what is it for Jessica?
So it's funny that you say that because you didn't plan this question for me. So I
don't
didn't
plan
even
a lot
get to
of
think
things
about it, but I love that because it's spontaneous because literally like where I'm looking out the window right now is where the old Moose Lodge building was.
Oh yeah.
And when you said like a memory of Woodstock, like the Dicky Dees and the Dicky Dee station was right beside there. And the Dicky Dees always came around our neighborhood. And I kind of forgot about that until right this exact second. So I
Oh
love that
my
that was
God.
spontaneous.
Oh my God. As soon as you said Dicky D's, okay. I've done so many things in
Were
those
you a Dicky
impressions.
Dee?
I do.
No.
One day. One
Good
day.
for you.
One day. And it was, so do you know where, oh gosh, I'm going to get this wrong. It's not Part Source. It might be APC Auto or something. There was a fire and a house burnt down on, it might
Okay.
be Huron. So right between where that auto parts supplier is, there's a vacant lot there now.
Yeah.
There was a house that the garage was kind of below ground, and they ran the Dicky Dee out of there. So, you know, summer student, I'm up at, you know, whatever it was, you know, where the old post office was. And there's a summer job. It's, you know, driving around some ice cream. I'm like 14 or something. I mean, I can do this.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get the damn thing up the driveway. Like, seriously. So I do one route, come back, and I'm done. Like, it's hot. No one wants to buy from me. I am not doing this again. There's only 2 jobs, maybe 3 jobs I've ever had that I've did one day. Most of them were as a student. The other was turkey catching. No.
Oh,
no.
that's
6 foot tall turkey barn. No, not happening again.
Yeah.
So I left
well, I won't
there.
tell you what we did with the Dicky Dees then, because it might traumatize you. But
oh God,
we would like sit up in our windows because we didn't have air conditioning, so the window would be open, and we'd yell "Dicky Dee, stop!" and then we just duck. It's terrible.
That was you?
Thing to do.
Oh my God. Yeah. I circled that block 6 times looking for someone that wanted to buy some ice cream. No. Whatever happened to that? It's not around. I mean,
it's not. No, I guess it's ice cream trucks now.
Yeah. And those are creepy. They're so creepy. Like maybe it's the music. There's a little bit of creepiness about them. Anyways, yeah. There's so many memories. I mean, I've been Woodstock 45 years now. Dating myself. Yeah, I'm into my 50s, but there's so many great memories. And this is why I wanted to do this, because you see the city changing so much. And for anyone watching, I was going to put a call out for this. You know, the Iron Man, we resurrected the Iron Man as you enter Woodstock into Van Ave. I don't know if you know the story or the history behind that. I want a miniature Iron Man with a welcome to Woodstock sign here. So if there's anyone that I can commission to do it, if you know of anyone, Jess, I'm down.
That'd be
like
so cool.
I'd love one. Yeah, a little light in it or something maybe. That was just, I mean, that was ORC days and driving back. And there was the one gentleman that would sit in direct traffic all day long. And I'm like, I'm a kid. I'm like, he's a conductor, of course. Like, you know, traffic needs to be conducted. I didn't know.
Right? Yeah, right.
Anyways, okay. So we'll fast forward a little bit. You real estate, what, 21 years now? Is that correct?
Yeah, about 20 years. I'm in my 20th year of selling. Yeah.
Wow. And back, so when you had started, what was it? So you were serving at the time, Dean Michaels, another, I don't know what happened to Dean Michaels. I don't know the history, but I was there a lot. And oh my God, their bacon was the best bacon in the world. But you were running both at the same time, right?
Yeah. So when I got my real estate license, I was working full-time at ViewTech in Woodstock. And then I did both for about 8 months, and that was pretty difficult. So I went down to serving, and I served at Dean Michaels, and I also served at Charles Dickens for a while.
Oh yeah.
I just did both. And kind of what I did, like I started out, I was at Dean Michaels like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. And then I would do real estate at night on weekends. And weekends. And then from there, I just slowly started cutting down my hours over probably like a 4 or 5 year period.
Yeah.
More and more cut down my hours until I could do real estate full time.
Yeah. I
It takes a little time to build up
the
your
house,
business.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I remember we do the tours. Like, everyone jump in the cars. Let's go. I don't know if that still happens. I am curious. I want to know.
Yes.
But we would do the tours, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be working? Like, are you working somewhere else? How are you here? And you're like, this is important. I'm going to be here. Maybe it was Dave always just hounding us. You need to be at these.
I usually always tried to make it work to be available for like the meetings and that type of stuff. But
But those early days. Okay. So tell me if this is still true. They say when you first start into real estate, obviously you're juggling both. It's difficult because you've got expenses. One was, you know, in those days, I think it was a weekend, you know, study for the course, write it on the weekend, you get your real estate license. And that was through Ontario Real Estate College. I don't know if it's changed. I don't know. But now it's much more onerous, I think, to get your license. But in those days, it was you start with your friends and your family, and then you
Yeah.
grow your business from there. Was that the case? And is that still the case? Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, I mean, now it's through Humber College, but I think the
Okay.
courses are pretty similar.
Mhm.
The biggest difference I would say when I did my licensing, it was all like open book exams.
Oh
So
yeah.
you could bring your textbook in and make
Yeah.
notes.
The hell I'm going to learn all that law.
Yeah. So yeah, it's through Humber now, but I would say the basis of how you build a business is still fairly similar as far
Mhm.
as like you're working we call it your sphere of influence. So your people that
Yep.
already know and like you and trust you, and then you build out from there. And you just have to slowly make relationships and add more people into that sphere to build a business. And then
Right.
eventually it turns into repeat and referral. It gets easier and easier as time goes on if you do well at working your sphere.
Yeah. Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And obviously you have to grow. And we talked about this, which is, I mean, I studied advertising and marketing like this, and then built a media company. And I see what realtors have to do these days. There's no way. I just,
Yeah.
there's no way I could do it. I realize some have a lot of fun with it. But the added expense, right? Because you've got your car, you've got your insurance, you've got all these things, all the overhead to operate, even as a single operator within a brokerage. And
Uh-huh.
now you've got to have people that can fly drones and shoot and video and then piece it all together. And no, the fonts don't look good. We need a graphic designer as well. That's
Yeah.
changed, right? Like that.
Oh,
How do you function within that? I just don't understand.
yeah. I mean, when I first started in 2006, like you would go into the office and sign out the office camera and you'd go to your listing and take pictures. And then you'd go bring back the camera and Barb
Yeah.
would plug it into the computer. And right. So it is a far cry
Yeah.
from today
Oh my God.
where we're
I forgot
literally
all about that.
hiring out stagers, different media people. Like I have 3 separate media people to get my media together to,
Jeez.
come up
Yeah.
with the end product of launching a house. So it is a
Crazy.
whole different ballgame, but homes are sold differently now, right? Like they're
Hmm.
sold on social media,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Like,
I did mention to you, I'm like, I still, if I'm going to buy, again, background in investing. So I'm hyper focused on that all the time. Every purchase is always about, can I flip it or can I rent it? Even if
yeah,
it's a single family, I'm going to live there. But I caught one, I think it was one of the Kings. They had a listing come up. It was a quad. Maybe it was a triplex. And I'm like, oh, interesting. If I hadn't have seen it on social, chances are I wouldn't have seen it. I think it's out of
right.
town. But still, I had questioned the validity of social. I get it for marketing purposes and drawing that crowd. But I just wasn't sure where that sat. So maybe explain
Can I
that a
tell
little
you?
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell you a little story
Yeah.
to help kind of, and I have like a bunch of these, but I had a house listed over on Juniper in Woodstock, which is the newer subdivision on the 11th line. And it was a beautiful, like Drew Brothers house with a pool.
Mm,
And I did like a cool promotion video for social media. And I ran an ad that went out to like a whole bunch of different cities. So I
yeah.
listed the house on Thursday. Saturday, I had an open house. I had a family from Hamilton come in. And they were like, you know what? We're moving right now. We really want a pool, but everything that looks like this but has a pool in Hamilton is $500,000 more.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and they were like, strange enough, we're just sitting around at home and this video for this house came up for this like open house ad on our Facebook or Instagram, whatever. I can't remember what they said.
Hmm.
And so we just wanted to come down to Woodstock and see if that's something like we'd even be interested in. So they go through the house. I give them information about the area. They spend the day like checking Woodstock out. They came back and booked a showing with their agent on Sunday and then put in an offer on Sunday night and bought the
Wow.
house.
Wow.
Yeah, and paid like
Power.
asking price
Yeah.
and there was similar houses in the neighborhood that had been listed for like months, but that just
Wow.
like that video
Okay.
caught their eye, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that there is a lot of power in being able to use that to market
That makes
to
sense.
potentially other
Yeah.
areas or buyers that might not even have been thinking about
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Well, I remember it wasn't the beginning of Facebook ads, but in those days they didn't really go that far, right? Like, so if we're talking, 2010, 11-ish, somewhere in there, as they
Yeah.
started the launch, I ran some and I'm like, it's just not getting the traction, but that makes a lot of sense, right? So you've got these
Yeah.
individuals that are looking to relocate. Maybe they don't even know which area they want to relocate to, and that's going to catch their eye. So that makes sense. Okay. But one of the things that I'm really curious about, and I want to know more about the marketing side, obviously it's something that I'm very curious about, but we used to, there'd be some backroom conversations on situations about sellers or even buyers in some case where you've got a front row seat to the emotional roller coaster of what's going on, typically driven by finances. I've dealt with these situations and had listings where financially they're in a tough spot. I don't feel like we're too far off this happening again, just with the world that we're living in. But you've got a front row seat to this like craziness that's going on. How do you deal with that? How do you approach that?
I mean, I think every person's situation is going to be very different. And I think that one thing that I used to do is when I would go into a listing consultation, I would walk in and I would tell them all the things that I thought they needed to hear, all the things that they should think is important. This is how we market. This is how we do this. This is why this is important. And I think what I've learned over the last even like 5 years is that I need to stop telling people what's important to them and I need to start listening to what's important to them.
Interesting.
And I've changed my approach a lot that way where I go in and I don't like I'll have my consultation ready, but I don't go in there with a we're opening this no matter what type thing. I go in there like, how can I help you today? What's going on?
Right.
And like really listening to their situation. And then I think how you handle every situation is just going to be completely different based on what they tell you. And I learn a lot more now that I'm listening more and not feeling like I need to tell them things. And then I think it's just like, oh gosh, every situation can be so different. But yeah, just making like going in with the strategy of what is going to work best for them and how is going to be the best way to communicate with them. And like, sometimes things are an emotional roller coaster and we are a therapist more than we are a real estate agent. And I should not be anybody's therapist, but I can be your realtor, but you should not be asking me for therapy.
You get paid similar money in some cases, but you don't want me giving any advice here.
But I think just like there's times where, it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're exhausted, but you are like walking people through the emotional side of things and trying to help them feel better about situations. And like, it's just part of the job. I think what I always say is like real estate's not a job, it's a lifestyle. Right? Like and you have to love it because you don't know what you're going to be dealing with at what time because it's all the time.
So that spawned a memory for me closing. I think I closed 2 deals from the beach in St. Vincent once when I was away. What is your most memorable real estate transaction? One that really stands out. It could be a nightmare one, or it could be one that was just like a godsend.
Oh gosh, that is like
20 years of it. Come on, there's not that many.
20 years. Like, no, there hasn't been, but like, oh gosh, what would be like the most memorable?
Yeah, there's got to be one.
I mean, gosh, I remember before there was like a lot of technology trying to do a deal with somebody that was on a cruise ship. And like we could only fax back then. And the faxing wasn't working on the cruise ship and like we were going to lose the offer and it was just a whole thing. And like, but I'll be honest with you, that was so long ago. I don't even remember. I think we ended up getting it together. Oh gosh, I wish I had a really cool story for you, Tom, but like
I should have prepped you with that question. See, this no preparation interviewing is just it's for the dogs. No, I remember us going into one listing. I actually was going to purchase it. I won't mention which building it was, but it was so run down. It was a fourplex near Purina, or Purina's torn down. What the hell? I drove by there the other day. I'm like, where did this go? Who's going to put the Christmas tree up? But anyways, there was human feces on the floors. And I was like, I might buy this. Back in those days, I'd buy anything. It didn't matter, right? So that was one of my most memorable. But
I went into a house in Ingersoll one time and the whole, like a wall of every room was like aquariums and there was like lizards and iguanas and snakes and all kinds of stuff. But I looked down at the floorboards and crawling around all the floorboards in every room was just like thousands of little bugs. like
No.
everywhere. And I was just like walking through, like I could feel them crawling all over my body. And like,
Well, once you see one, that they're all over you. I remember the
yeah,
fleas, dealing
yeah,
with there'd be places we'd go in. I'd bring a hazmat suit sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go in. I'll buy anything, but I ain't going in there.
yeah,
We kind of okay. So you've been. Are you still coaching with Chris? Chris Leader. Shout out Chris Leader. One of the
yeah,
most fantastic dudes I ever met. I think it was Redford had convinced us, the office at the time, anyone that can come. I'm like, this ain't cheap. Are you paying for it, King? Like, come on, man. But in those days, it was like, okay, we understood the learning. I loved that guy so much.
yeah,
I haven't seen,
yeah.
I've seen, you've had some stuff online where you were doing stuff, seen him in that, but he prompted me to, I think I had reached out to Rogers and I started doing an investing show at the time. And even you were
I
looking at
remember
doing
that.
something. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
loved Chris. Are you still coaching with Chris at all? Leader's Edge.
Yeah.
Is that what
So,
it's Leader's Edge, isn't it?
I can Leaders Ed training.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I trained for them for a while and I did
Hmm.
training all across Canada and North America. And then I went to being a coach.
Hmm.
And then once I opened the office and had babies, I kind of slowed down with that a little bit,
Yeah.
just time constraints. But the last few months here, probably about 3 or 4 months, I've been co-hosting a real estate show that is
Okay.
also a
Very
podcast
cool.
with them.
Well,
It's
let's
Chris
plug it.
Leader and
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah,
You're going to plug it. Go ahead.
yeah.
How
It's
dare me?
it's called Leaders Weekly, but it's with Chris Leader and it's the Real Estate Jumpstart and Chris McGett, he lives in Florida and he was a president from Coldwell Banker in Colorado. And he's
Okay.
just a very
Okay.
brilliant real estate mind. So it's
Yeah.
just been fun.
I
Yeah.
loved, I think it was partially, they always say that the greatest leaders have some sort of charisma as well. And Chris had that charisma
Yeah.
that he was just like, I'm hanging on every word.
Yeah.
Super awesome guy. Just love him.
Yeah,
I'll
he
see if we
sure
can
did. He
tag him in
turned
this stuff.
like training almost into like an
Yeah.
entertaining show somehow.
And
Yeah.
it should be. I think the gone are the days of Bueller. Like I just can't deal with that
Yeah.
stuff anymore. Okay, so let's talk about the world of real estate as we know it now. They're just much different. Woodstock is growing rapidly. We've been called the next Brampton or Burlington, if you will. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of influx. You must see the influx over the last couple of years. Has it slowed? Is it slowing? Has it ramped up? What's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm definitely seeing we're still getting a lot of commuters and people coming from out of town because at the end of the day, Woodstock is still less expensive than, the GTA in some areas. But what I've definitely seen over the last like 5 years is we're really catching up
Mm.
to those Cambridge prices. So I'm finding the commuters that are coming now are from a bit further away, where we used to get more like just Kitchener and Cambridge. There's not always as much of a price difference now,
Mhm, mhm.
but we are still getting a lot of people that are coming from a little bit further: Hamilton, Milton, Brampton, Toronto. Um, what what I am also seeing is people that grew up in the area.
Yeah.
Been getting an influx of the last like probably 2 years where people that were so used to Woodstock being like a really small town are just finding that they're feeling like it's bigger now.
Mm.
And although we still don't operate fully like a bigger town, they're just finding traffic is more and they don't have the same small town feel that they always had. So I am finding a lot more of my past clients and people I know reaching out to me for like rural or like
Mhm.
Ingersoll, Embro, Sweeberg,
Yep.
Inderkip, those types of things. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely seeing a huge amount of that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's one thing I've considered myself. I mean, try and get across Woodstock, and it's not, the city gets blamed for everything, right? The city planners
yeah.
get blamed. It's always and I asked Jerry, I had Jerry on last week, Jerry Accioni, our mayor, and I'm like,
Yeah.
chicken and egg situation. Len Magar did an incredible job drawing business to the city. Obviously, the
Uh-huh.
city needs to prepare for it. We have to have the roads, and like everything has changed. Try and get across the city at any of the peak moments, 8 to 9, 3 to 5. Like it is a nightmare sometimes. But it's like, come on, let's face it. I worked Toronto for 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. Yeah.
3-hour commutes each way sometimes, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like this is nothing. Okay. And
Yeah.
even I've considered, but maybe move out of town, a little bit out of town. Talk about pricing though, right? Like everyone wants to be there. You want to buy an acre, a soft little acre somewhere outside of town. That ain't cheap. right?
No,
But let
there's a lot
me,
of competition for it.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this then. So, in the early days of this influx that we saw coming, Woodstock was kind of treated or considered like the bedroom community,
Mhm.
where they were still, they live here, hang their hat here, but they're shopping out of town, they're doing that. Are you seeing
Yeah.
that shift and change at all?
No, yeah, I think I'm definitely seeing more people like as Woodstock is growing, there's more employment opportunity. So where a lot of the out of town people more before were saying, I'm going to live here, but I'm going to work
Hmm.
wherever. I'm getting more people coming in saying, I'm going to be working in the area. I'm
Okay.
seeing that a little bit more, I would say.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously we want to shop local as much as possible and take care. And I
Mhm.
get it. I get it. I try to as much as I can, but there's sometimes time is time is our most valuable and precious thing, as you know, with two young ones
Yeah.
too now, right? So
Yeah.
if a trip to
Yeah.
Costco means I've got to put something in the cart, which I could have probably found somewhere in town, I have to do it. I have to do it in some
Yeah.
cases, which is
Yeah.
tough, right? What do you see, or what would you? Okay, elections are coming up, October
Okay.
26th, I think it is.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, you would pay close attention to this as a realtor, someone that's been doing this for so long. We talk about development in the city. What would you like to see happening when it comes to, because even on this account, like the Woodstock account, I've had a couple messages about we need a complex, we need more skating facility, we need this. What do we need? What about seniors? Like, are we taking care of seniors?
Yeah, so I mean, I think like they definitely are trying there's been some expansion with the Southgate Center and stuff, but the biggest thing that I get from people and I'm hearing from people is there's not enough amenities for the people that want to retire and want to have a
Mm,
retirement area to live in, that they have walkability to something. Like I'm having clients go out of town to places to find retirement living. So we do have the Sally Creek area, which is awesome.
mhm,
And there's the restaurant there and there's golf there and they have that little community area. But um, the people that are looking to move to there just aren't finding that it's enough. If they don't
mhm.
golf,
Yeah,
there's not really enough at the community center for them to do. So people want to be able to have a pool to walk to. They want different amenities that are walkable for them
right.
in a
Yeah.
retirement age, and we just don't have it.
Hmm. Is there an example? I never really thought of that. And obviously, boomers, the aging demographic.
Yeah.
I mean, retirement. There was the Victoria Man. I think it's Victoria Manor has been like completely gutted. I don't know who's bought it.
Yeah.
But I started thinking about it the other night. I'm like, wow, there's going to be a huge need for retirement living, assisted
Mhm.
living. Like, wow.
Yeah,
But
and there's a
anyways, yeah.
lot of people that just, yeah, aren't quite ready to go somewhere like Oxford Gardens or something
Mhm.
like that
Right.
yet,
Yeah.
but they don't want to be secluded to Northeast Woodstock where, if they can't walk to anything or right. So
Mhm.
it's just, I think that that's just amenities that we don't have in Woodstock, but I don't know what the answer to that is. So
Yeah. More taxes.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Some more taxes. That's
Yeah.
the only way we can do it. No, I mean the city's doing quite well, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm not on
Yeah.
council. I don't think I would ever want to be on council or the mayor. Um, they're
No.
they're just cut from a different cloth. They're crazy individuals that want to do that public service. Great, I get it.
Yeah.
Eats up every hour of the day, as you could imagine. But
Yeah.
the planning, the understanding of what's going on. I mean, there's this whole debacle about the purchase of the YMCA building that's going on right now, and I mean,
Yeah.
you could see it from both sides, right? I see everyone's side in this story, and all I can think about is the homeless, though,
Yep.
and it's not so much, oh, we have to deal with the homeless. It's, oh my god, these people are down and out. Like, we need to help them somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's some funding available at the county level. But again, it affects Woodstock. How much input does Woodstock have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the answers are to those, and hopefully over time we'll figure it out. Okay, let's get into a few things that those outside the community that may be considering that happen to stumble upon this podcast. What's something special about Woodstock that outsiders may not understand from your point of view?
Yeah, I think Woodstock definitely has the friendly city name for a reason. I think that there's a lot of great There's just a lot of great people. To me, it still has this small town feel, where when I go to Toronto, like people aren't holding the door for you. They're
Mm.
closing the elevator before you can get there. They
Yeah.
don't look up from their
Yeah.
phone.
Oh my God.
They're like do anything to not make eye contact with you.
Yeah.
Where I find like in Woodstock, like people will go out of their way to hold the door for you. And it still has that. There's a lot of rural country feel around
Mhm.
Woodstock still, right? So
Yeah.
it still has that small town feel. We still have like, we're surrounded by those farms and there's cool stuff to be able to do. Like you can drive 5 minutes and go take your kids out to like a cool farm day type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like we still have that kind of small town charm, even though our population is growing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
What about you? What do you love about Woodstock, or what do
Oh
you think
man,
is special?
I think it's the people. It's still the people.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, it's the individuals that have been here again, not necessarily born, but raised for the most part. I've lived this sheltered life over the last, gosh, since I got into tech, right? So I started commuting. I was outside of, driving to Toronto 4 days a week, working
Yeah.
stupid hours, and
Yeah.
I forgot about everything other than coming in. It was the same path home. But when you run into those individuals, especially when I was flipping homes and doing any of that kind of stuff, I could go to
Yeah.
those, Rick's Carpeting or whoever it might be, and
Mhm.
or now it's Carpet One. But you go
Yeah.
and you're friends. Like you're friends with
Yeah.
these individuals. You don't go out and have beer with them or anything like that. You're just friends because they're here and they've got your back, right? They're trying to help
Yeah.
you. And so that's what I really love about it. But
Yeah.
speaking about businesses, let me ask you this. What local business or people deserve some recognition in Woodstock?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. How do you even pick? um, I like I love Beantown Coffee.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like they really take their time and they know all their customers and they know everybody's orders and
Mhm.
like I think that's so special. Um and yeah, like there's a lot of really special places like that, but like Early Bird, I remember one time I had the kids in the car and Kate came out and brought the coffee out to me and was like, "Oh, just like you transfer me later or whatever." And I
Oh
didn't have to
wow.
pull the sleeping baby out of the car. Like there's just so many things like that that you don't get
Yeah.
in a larger town. I love going to the training house gym with Laura Meadows and like I know everybody that does the classes when you walk in and she remembers everybody, remembers
Mm.
what you need to work on. Like it just you get that like all those places, you get that personal
Yeah.
feel of,
Yeah.
like, they remember things about you and they do things to make it special for you,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is just awesome. That's
Well,
what I love about this city for
you're
sure.
right in that it's very difficult to choose because even as I'm starting to build this podcast out and everything that comes along with it, I start thinking through all the businesses that I'm familiar with and I start making
Mhm.
a list and I'm like, oh yeah, oh my God, I forgot about them. Like, so I had reached
Yeah.
out to Macaulay Tucker, who runs the socials and does some direction for the Record Works.
Oh,
And
yeah.
obviously that's Doug Marsh. And I've known Doug
Yeah.
for the longest time. We're not friends. He probably doesn't even remember me, but I'm like, hey, Macaulay, I'd love to get Doug on. I mean, I think he started in the mid 80s. The mid
Yeah.
80s. We're talking 40 years of servicing this community with vinyl. Right? I mean,
Right?
vinyl almost
Yeah.
died for a while, but look at it's back, baby.
Yeah.
Small fortune spent
Isn't
on
that
that again.
crazy?
It's crazy. But I mean,
Yeah, that
as you go
store's been
through,
around since I was a kid.
exactly. And you
Yeah.
start thinking about all those different businesses that have been around, even the new ones. And that's one of the areas that I really want to focus on and make sure that we're highlighting is those that are setting up shop, those that have decided
Mhm.
they want to start a business in Woodstock. Again, I go into Culligan, I pick up some water, and I turn around and there's a Taco Boys. Now, Taco Boys may be a franchise, and that's fine, but someone owns it and they probably live
Yeah.
local, but that's
That's
okay
right.
with me. And I'm like, there's a Taco Boys. First of all, when did they build this place? Okay.
Yeah.
And now there's a Taco
Right.
Boys in here. But I see this all the
Yeah.
time. So I want to make sure that we're able to highlight that as much as
So
possible,
one thing
anyways.
yeah, I love that. One thing that we've been doing at our office for a couple of years now is we call it reveling.
Okay.
And we at the end of some of our office meetings, we go out to a business in Woodstock, whether
Mm,
it's a new business or a business that we haven't been to yet, and we literally go out with our office and like support that business.
I
So
love that.
we'll like all go buy something and we bring our social media girl and she does a little video on them and
That's
like
cool.
we've met so many really cool people in town just from like just getting out and going, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part is like you said, the convenience.
Hmm.
of certain things. So sometimes you just have to force yourself to take the time to like go out and try a business and check it out and actually get face to face with the
Yeah, yeah,
owners and that type of thing. Like I
yeah.
love that.
I do have a question about operating hours and days, but before you do that, I saw that you and the crew were at, I want to give them a shout out. It's the small little cafe on Adelaide.
Yes,
What's it?
my kitchen.
My Kitchen. Okay. It looks like they
Yep.
have some really good sandwiches in there potentially. Am I right? Or is it only pastries?
Yeah, so they have a little coffee shop in there too, but they do, and they sell like sandwiches and breakfast stuff and
Yeah.
whatever, but they do catering that is
Oh,
really awesome.
okay.
Um,
Interesting.
so a lot of times when we've had events at the office, we call him to cater the stuff. And he's like, we do this thing called Bagels and Mastermind at our office.
Nice.
And we get our bagels from him and we pick up like warm, fresh, amazing bagels.
What?
Right? Like when have you had a fresh, warm, amazing
Yeah,
bagel?
I'm getting
right?
back into
Like,
real estate.
yeah,
Is it-
right.
I'm
You can
getting
come
back in,
anytime.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about operating hours. Okay, so we've been compared to Stratford for the longest time. Stratford has this thriving culture and we have the arts. Yeah, you do. I get it. They're also open 7 days a week in most cases. There is a lot of times
Right.
I won't call out any business, and I understand why, because back in my old days of Boys Electric, they were closed on Mondays. It was a kind of a dead day. It made sense. And also for the overlap, when there's a long weekend, you don't have to worry about staffing and all this weird stuff that goes along with it. But there's
Right.
a lot of business that kind of follow that, especially for downtown. And I've always been curious if that helps or hinders the business to close on a Monday, or get used to these certain expectations of, I'm not for 7 days. Don't like, I
Yeah.
bring back the
Yeah.
6 day a week to me. I would love that. Some will like flame me over this. I don't care. 6 days a week, 6 days a week is enough. But anyways, when I see something that's closed
Yeah.
on a Monday or their hours have just shifted, it really throws me off. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I think it's like you have to get used to it. And if it's a store that you don't shop often and you pop in there on a Monday and they're not open,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm probably not getting back here.
Right.
Unfortunately, right? So I've definitely had that happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I think once you've been doing something for a long time, people get used to it and it just is what it is. But yeah, it's when it's a surprise, it's hard.
I don't like surprises.
There's Yeah, and like you said, the convenience of shopping, like, so when you make time to do it and then you get there and it's not open, oh god.
Yeah. No,
But
I get
yeah,
it. And I just think about the,
yeah,
the newcomers that have just moved to the city and they see something. Now, obviously they're everyone Googles everything first, right? So
yeah,
chances are they're going to see that. But I've, gone to have a coffee meeting with someone and I'm like, let's meet at X, and I won't mention X, but, and then they're like, yeah, this place is closed. Are you sure you want to be
yeah,
meeting here? Is this the right spot? And I'm like, shoot. Okay.
yeah.
So I just see it. Let me ask you this, Jess.
Yeah, yeah.
Been here long enough. You own a company and run this company. You work with so many. What worries you about the future of Woodstock?
That is a great question.
I'm full of great questions, Jess. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say what worries me is where this housing is going to go to fit everybody, because we can only build out so far
Yeah.
and then we have to start building up. So where's that going? And I don't want to be one of those, like, not in my backyard people, right? Because we have to,
Everyone's
like,
got a backyard. It's got to be someone's.
right? Like, yeah, it's just so, yeah, I guess my worry is where are we going to? And then parking is a worry for me, like street parking, parking at people's houses. Like, I mean, it's awesome. We've changed all the zoning laws so that we can now have ARUs and like any type of zoning in Woodstock, where it used to only be R1.
Yep.
But I'm seeing hugely in neighborhoods now that parking is an issue, and they are changing some things to make more of your front yard can be parking than it used to be. Like, they are trying to stay on top of those things, but that definitely concerns me. And then and like where we've got to do, it's just going to be more and more apartment buildings, and where are they going to go? And then is our infrastructure going to be able to handle that?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. But,
Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things for me, again, rich dad, poor dad at the age of 17, like, just bring it in, right? More and more and more until not in my backyard. Whoa, hold on a second. Where'd that skyscraper come from? Now, Jerry did mention when I had him on, he said that I think it's approved. There's air quote skyscraper, but not really. It's I don't even know the proper term for it now, but it's like 21 stories. It's approved to go somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
But I think about, so my kitchen, which is just down from that development that's almost done. And I see the house beside it and the eave, and then the building wall is like as close can get. Like if there was a window on that wall, I'd be pretty ticked off that there is no sunshine coming through that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those tough things because we do need more housing,
Yeah, we do.
right? And
Yeah.
so like there has to be answers.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We need places for people to live.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
And then there's the old,
it's just
Pool Salvation Army. I think that's close to potential approval. So there's like 60 plus units or something going in there, but single family is
yeah.
important as well. Okay. Enough about what worries you. What excites you the most about where the city's headed?
I mean, I think it's cool that Woodstock is growing personally. Like, I think the more that we grow, the more amenities we're gonna have.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, there's still things that I go out of town for. So, which is tough when you're running a business and
Yeah,
you've got
for
little
sure.
kids and you've got to go out of town for certain things.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to get more and more amenities in Woodstock. I swear we're gonna get a Costco someday. The more population we get, the closer we
We
are
could
to a
use
Costco.
one. That would save me
Yeah,
some gas money. I mean, there's always, I just
right?
need one item. I just need one item. And then
Yeah.
$1,000 later, and I'm not even kidding. Like people joke about this. This is Tom all day long. I just need one
Yeah.
thing. One thing.
It's never not $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry and I have gotten close enough where, well, we've been best friends for the longest time, but I'm like, I'm going to
Yeah.
Costco. So if it's I can't go with you, it's can you grab me? Right.
You're
I
right.
always
Yeah.
thought, man, there should be like a Facebook group or something where I'm going to
Right.
Costco today. Can anyone grab me this? There probably is.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna.
Yeah.
There is a group, and then probably shouldn't get involved with that either. Okay, so we've talked about what worries you, what excites you, but current state. If you could change one thing overnight, what would that be?
Change one thing about Woodstock?
Yeah, one thing overnight. Wave your magic wand. One thing's changed.
That's a great question, Tom.
I told you I'm full of great
Um,
questions, Jess.
I would add in more transportation to bigger cities easier.
Mm, okay.
Like we have the train,
Mhm.
but
That's
like
not
what if the
cheap.
GO train came all the way to Woodstock, right?
Yeah, well, that
Like,
falls under Doug Ford, and he's not in my best books these days. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get Doug
But yeah,
on.
I would love to see that. Like I still like um I would just love to be able to like hop on an easier way to get to the airport without
Yeah.
traffic
Yeah,
and just little things
without
like
the
that.
Robert
But like
Q, love them as much as you want,
yeah.
$160 per person. Nah, it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we could really open up even more attraction to Woodstock if
Mm.
there was something like that. And some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
might say that's good and some people might say it's bad, but I think
Yeah.
honestly, like I think growth is a great thing. It doesn't worry me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I
if
would
you're,
love to see
what's the
something like
saying?
that.
If you're not growing, you're dying. And we've seen what happens to certain cities when there is no growth, and they can be larger cities. Some hell, there's some crazy documentaries about some of the ones in the U.S. they're bigger than
Yeah.
we were, and they are ghost towns now. So,
Yeah.
be that because of industry or whatever it might be.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, for anybody that owns a home in Woodstock, like all of this stuff affects your resale value, right?
Mhm.
So if the city is dying, your home is going to be losing value too.
Yeah.
So
Well, we got to
yeah,
keep that growing then. Okay. Quick fire
yeah.
questions because this stuff goes great on social media. Okay. So you're in
Oh
real
no.
estate, dream home style. What's your favorite?
I love those houses that were built in like the early 2000s. You know, where like the rooms are all separate.
Yeah.
There's a separate dining room and like the good living
Really?
room.
Okay.
And then like
Okay.
yeah.
Because so many are like
And then
open
there's another living
concept. Yeah.
room
Yeah.
and there's like a kitchen that looks over the other living room. Like
Yeah.
I love that era and style of home. There's a lot of them in like north, like Springbank area and that
Right.
type of thing. I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that area was being built. I won't call it what it was
Yeah.
called then because I don't know if it's politically correct. But and then we went to the bird sanctuary, so you know what area I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Prior to that,
Yes.
I don't want to
Yeah.
make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then we went
Yeah.
to the warplane. Warplane, and is it what's
Yeah.
is there an what's the newest one over there? What's it called now? Is it Is there something beyond that?
That was it. That's as
it?
far.
Okay.
Warplane was as far as we went to Northeast, and then they went over to the 11th line.
Oh, right.
And that was like Juliana, Hawthorne, all
Yeah,
that
that
stuff.
was Goodman's endeavor,
Or not
I think,
Juliana.
wasn't it? When he started,
Pardon?
was that Goodman's endeavor when he started over at the 11th? Well, Goodman and the group
11th
of
was
builders, I think, at the time.
the
wasn't it?
Woodstock Builders
Yeah,
Group.
Woodstock
Yeah, it was
Builders.
all of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My favorite,
Yeah.
although I don't know if it really exists in Woodstock, but I'm still, I'm an old Woodstock, Old North boy, right? So it doesn't have to be big, but I still, when it comes to Home Alone, that style of house, so it's still boxy, it's closed off in certain areas. Obviously there's a bunch on Van Ave, and my wife says there's no way too much traffic. That's never happening, so I don't know. Okay, next quick fire question. Biggest real estate red flag.
Biggest real estate red flag.
Just
when I walk into a house and there's a whole bunch of air fresheners going.
Yeah, you're either smoking dope, you've smoked in the house, you've got rodents. Yeah, I could just
There's
imagine.
so many things that could be happening.
Yeah.
It could be cat pee. It could be mustiness.
Or they just love it. They just love it. Yeah. What are they called?
I don't know. Sometimes there's a candle going. There's an air freshener at the front door. There's those ones that when you walk by them, they're like
in your mouth. Good God. Yeah. When we used to do the tours, oh my God. Okay. Most underrated feature in a house.
Most underrated feature in a house. The back deck.
I said in a house. You don't follow direction. The back deck. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And I say that because you're going to want to spend a lot of time back there, and you might not think about that. And you spend so much time like the kitchen and the bathroom and making sure you love. But like people like to sit outside too, right?
For
and
sure.
if you don't like the outside of your house, I just feel like that gets lost. Like that's a little underrated. Sometimes.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I could see it. I don't know if it's still true. It must be, but they used to say that the best investment you can make if you're going to do anything, kitchen and bath. Still the case?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then garage.
Yeah.
Garage still. I don't have a garage. I'm going to build a garage. Build a single or a double?
It can be. It depends what you have room for, but a double if you have it, because people like to be able to park tandemly.
Or four. I mean, talk about 4,
Okay.
5, maybe.
Yeah.
What do they call the barn dominiums? That's my jam.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You won't be able to answer this one. But I jotted down a couple of these quick fires. I've never done this before, so it's kind of weird, but I also like it. Favorite local restaurant or hidden gem? Let's do hidden gem.
Favorite hidden gem?
Yeah.
For restaurant or for
Come on,
anything?
Jess, it's quick fire. No. Yeah. Hidden gem in Woodstock. Yeah. Favorite hidden gem.
Terra Nova Spa.
Oh, okay. Oh, that reminds me.
With the Scandinavian spa experience in the back. A lot of people don't know it's there.
Yeah. My wife still has a gift certificate she hasn't used. Just reminded me. I'm like, yeah.
Tell her to get in there.
Yeah,
it's nice.
What? It's not because she doesn't want to. I think she just forgets.
Yeah.
Okay. One trend you wish would disappear in real estate.
Using AI for market stats instead of your brain.
So you want to get into AI, do you? Okay.
And no, I don't necessarily want to get into AI,
It's
but
true.
I think
Talk
that
about it a bit.
a lot of
please.
people are using AI to do their market stats on social media, and I think that you can tell, and it's just
Yeah.
I feel like you need to be able to understand the actual market stats and be able to have a conversation with somebody about it. And when you're just using AI to give you a snapshot of what's going on in the market, and your caption is written by AI, and I think that number one, it can give people a false sense of you knowing more about their specific niche of the market than you do.
Yeah.
And it could trick people into thinking that you're an expert in an
Just got
area, right? And then
catfished
if
by a
somebody's
real estate agent.
yeah, right. So I just think that if you fully understand how to read market stats
Mhm.
and reports month by month, and you use AI to help you just quickly do the caption, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that there's just a lot of not bothering to learn the market stats
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't have to anymore because AI will do it
Yeah. Do
for
you
you.
remember the days when we actually used to have to open books and look at this stuff and then cross-reference it on
Yeah.
the internet to find out? And now I say that about AI in general, just because of running media and doing so many things. I see it's AI slop. And this is a warning to any business owner that is tuning into this. Be careful with AI, especially for Google search results. Google is
Yeah.
deranking a lot of the AI slop. So everyone thought it was great. I'd have a website. Oh, I'm going to have a blog. Hey, ChatGPT, hey, Claude, write me a blog article about X. And they're not using any critical
Yeah.
thinking at all. And then they take that and
Yeah.
they post it. All of that slop that exists on the internet now is actually going to do more harm than good in the future, for especially for small businesses. So for
Yeah.
those tuning in for that, take heed. Be careful with that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a
And
matter
like
of,
when
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, when people are following you online, they want to follow you because they want the authentic you, and they want to they want to learn what you're like and what you know and whatever.
Mhm.
And when it's all just AI captions, it's just not authentic anymore. Not to say
Yeah.
you can't use it to like help with your business,
Mhm.
but it's
Oh,
not
you can
you,
use it
right?
as a tool. I look at it because I ran such a
Yeah,
large org. I've got agents set up. So it's more like I'm running an entire organization, but I still use my brain. So anything I'm putting
Y-
in, I put a
yeah,
concept, I write something, fully write an article first. Let me ask you this though. Do you get it on the reverse? So as a professional using it, be very careful. Um, I, I can recognize it immediately. We don't need to run AI
yeah,
filters. Thank God Instagram has even for image generation. I'm all good. I'm all for it. Hell, this is Woodstock was
yeah,
AI generated. The hell I'm going to sit and design another logo. I've done that.
for
I
sure.
ain't doing it again. But then you got
Yep.
to upscale it. There's a bunch of stuff to do. Let me ask you this though.
Mhm.
Do you have it reverse where you've got clients coming to you and they've used AI to figure out a
Oh yeah.
market and they're like, this is what it says, and you're like, yeah, but I've been doing this for 20 years and I've lived here most of my life. Like,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, yeah, I definitely have people that are like coming to me and saying things that that they've like asked
yeah,
ChatGPT things.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, ChatGPT can give you like the broad idea of things, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean it's relevant to Woodstock. It doesn't mean it's relevant to that
Right.
neighborhood in Woodstock.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, like I was just yeah, there's so many
There's a
things that
story in there that you just about wanted to share. I know it.
no, no. And so I think that ChatGPT and AI are a great thing to give people like a broad understanding of things, but
Yeah.
you still have to be willing to like listen to the professionals' advice on things because it might not apply to what you're doing.
There's a reason they're there, right? So,
And I've had like, yeah, I had a client like give me a clause that they had AI write for them.
mm,
And I couldn't figure out like where this came from because it just wasn't applicable.
yeah.
And so, like, and they kept saying, "Nope, like, this is we should be able to put this in, blah, blah," and me doing some deep diving, I figured out that it matched the laws in, like, Edmonton,
Mm,
and the way that like, worked
yeah.
for real estate sales worked in there, and I was just like, because they kept saying, like, ChatGPT is giving this, why can't we put this in this offer? And
Wow.
I'm like, it's not legal here, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like, right? So,
Yeah. You
yeah.
can't have access to their firstborn or their steed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
One last question, but I do, sorry, two questions because I did mean to ask or at least discuss this with you. Can you
Yeah.
overmarket? Um, Obviously, in real estate, you have to be out there, you have to be creating social everything, reels, and you name it.
Yeah.
But can you overdo it? Is it possible to overdo it? Because I've seen this in other industry, and I'm just wondering in real estate, is it possible to overdo it?
I mean, I would think probably, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think there's got to be like a line of like what is what's marketing yourself and what's just kind of going over the top. Like I'm a strong believer in the way that you do your job markets yourself,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So like if you're constantly making things to market yourself and you're constantly paying for marketing, um, you're missing out on an opportunity of just using the way you do your job to market yourself, the way
Right.
you present a listing, the way that you work with a buyer, like you can use that and use that as content and not have to overproduce content all the time.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, because it could, especially for those agents that are, and some of them just do a bang up job. And I know they're doing it all themselves.
Yeah.
They're probably much younger than I am because they understand all of that stuff. But and they probably can get it out a lot faster. But I just look at it and go, oh my God. Okay, final question. If you weren't in real estate, what would you be doing?
I think that if I wasn't in real estate, I'd want to be some sort of a business coach. I just love business.
Yeah.
Like, I love the aspects of running a business. I love entrepreneurship. I love all of the, I just love business. I mean, I was somebody that did not like school, and I loved business class.
School sucks.
Like, it's just,
stay out of school. I mean, stay in school.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the hard part. Like, my youngest is graduating this year, and he knows my view on school and what we're taught. And I was the same. I, high school dropout, went and got a GED, then went to college and did all the things that I've done. But yeah, I could see you doing that. You're always willing to help, at least back in those days. I don't know. Maybe you just felt sorry for me, going like, the offer, Tom, like, what the hell? You can't ask them for that. No. Anyways, just listen. This has been.
You were a great realtor, Tom.
I was good at getting the people and doing. I think what really sold myself short was I would tell people just straight up, because in those days it was feast or famine, right? And it was, you wanted to sell houses or you're not eating, and it's still the same way. It's no different. I know that. Unless there's an agency out there that pays salaries as well. And I'm sure there is. I mean, commercial, when I was looking at the commercial jump, there was space plus commissions. But for me, I'd walk through, just because I spent so much time at the, first, I think it was 18 or 19, bought my first condo. It was a flip, and I've done all that work myself. So I'd walk through with clients going, yeah, that's going to need to be replaced. Oh boy, look at that. No, you don't want that. Can you imagine that? There's some dry rot.
Good. That's a really good quality to have, though. But I'm sure people really value that.
Yeah, sometimes they get to a point where they're, because they're clients or people looking to buy, they're sometimes awestruck. So they see the photos, and the photos look incredible. Remember the world of HDR, when HDR came out, and it was like, what the hell? This house doesn't look anything like this. What's this lighting, right? So, and I would never use it. I'm like, no, I am not putting any photos that do not represent the house properly. But I'd nitpick things, going, well, it's going to need to be fixed, or you got a couple grand there. And I'd know the pricing because I was so current on, I just built a deck, and you're going to be this much to replace this deck. So good quality for some. Yes, I agree. But for me, I just cut those loose anyways and be like, yeah, we can't work together. I'm the professional here. Okay. You're in my office right now. No. Anyways, Jess, it's been great catching up. It's been great having you on.
Thanks
You're so
much.
open. Appreciate it. We'll look to have you back in the future, but otherwise, say hi to Mitch for me. Good luck on the future endeavors. And maybe I'll see you at my kitchen. Not my kitchen.
I would love that.
The kitchen, my kitchen. All right. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tom.
it.